you and welcome to the University of Ghana Stadium, where it's the continuous coverage of the Ghana Premier League. And this time it's Heart of Oak taking on Dreams FC to kickstart match day 19. And Accra Heart of Oak, they are chasing their second win in the second round, and that is the weather conditions. 30 degrees Celsius should be okay for this particular thrilling matchup between Accra Heart of Oak and then also Dreams FC. Dreams FC, they also began the second round, that's match day 18, with an emphatic 3-0 win over Heart of Lions at the Tuba Ashtute. But then now they are away from home and they'll be facing Accra Heart of Oak. In the reverse fixture, it was Heart of Oak that pipped Dreams FC to have him here because he knows the game and he always enlightens us. Coach, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Josiah.
The last time we met was here, right? You're also looking good, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
Coach, now let me quickly take your thoughts on. That's the second game of the second round. Yeah, we've closed the chapter on the first round, the first 17 games. Now, let me quickly take your thoughts on the games that were played on match day 18, if it gives us any indication which teams are really roaring to go for the title.
Well, I believe that Mediama show some glimpse of probably being on top or probably going for the ultimate. I mean, you saw how they've acquired a sponsorship of $200,000 from the mining company. 3-0 against Young Apostles. I mean, you're also talking about Hearts of Oak going all the way to Hawkeye to pip them by a lone goal. Kumasi Asante Kotoko struggling at home to play Brekum Chelsea. And of course, you talk of Vision FC going all the way to Samates. 2 away games, victory over Adriana, picking points from Samates. I think it has been very good when you come the first round of the Ghana Premier League.
We've seen how the title, charge is shaping up. Mediama with a 5-point lead at the top of the table. Perhaps for now they are not entirely safe, but it's okay. You look at it down there where the relegation zone or battle is getting, keener and keener. And you think it's destined that the teams that will end up being relegated are already, there. It's glaring.
No, I believe that it's only one club that I can mention. That is 11 Wonders. They need to accumulate at least 41 points for them to be able to stay in the Ghana Premier League. Wow. They are going to Pando to play Heart of Lions, who has gone into 8 games without a win. And that should tell you how Heart of Lions will be eager to pick all the 3 points from 11 Wonders. They've sold 2 of their key players to Swedo All Blacks. And for me, I think that key players in midfield of 11 Wonders sold. They are struggling down there. I mean, I was surprised about Bechem United output. Look at Bechem United. We all know what Bechem. They are going to Basaka to play Basaka Holy Stars, who lost at this venue to 11 Wonders. And I mean, you also talk about Hohoi United staying at home, part ways with their coach. A new coach is in, and they are still struggling. So for me, it is difficult for the clubs down there to up. Just that the points between the teams are very limited. So you win 1 game, you draw 1 game, it pushes you up. The moment you lose a game, it drops you down. So let's see what goes into the signing of new players in the second window and how it augments their effort of probably climbing the ladder.
All right, so it's Friday kickoff here from the University of Ghana Stadium. Accra Heart of Oak taking on Dreams FC. Don't forget that the local transfer window was shut yesterday. We're talking more about the transfers with teams having busy in the market. All that right after this break. Friday kickoff from the University of Ghana Stadium. We're still building up to that big game between Accra Hearts of Oak and then also James FC to raise a curtain on match day 19 of the Ghana Premier League. Just the second game into the second round, but then it's even getting more competitive. My name is Josal Kokwe. I'm still here with Coach Ebenezer Sifa. Coach, the transfer window was closed just yesterday night. Let's just talk a bit about the teams. Some are showing ambition. Unfortunately for Accra Hearts of Oak, we all know their story. Yeah. They do not have any right to sign 80 players. But Mediama were busy. Kumasi Asante Kotoko also busy. There's the return of Albert Amoah, back to the team on a 6-month loan deal. What do you make of the transfer window?
Well, I believe that the clubs are beginning to study what it takes to win the Ghana Premier League. Of course, Mediama, Kingsley Braye is scoring for them. Of course, they've gone in for Abdul Rahman, formerly of Inswateman, wonderful striker. They have Kevin Obin, formerly of Brekum Chelsea, Adriana, into their fold. And of course, Victor Odro, formerly of Dreams FC, Nations, and now with Mediama FC. 3 strong players to augment the squad. If you have a team that have Prince Owusu on the bench who plays for the Blasters, I mean, when you talk of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, of course, they've gotten a young boy called Yakubu Dogo, I mean, from Mid City. I mean, he has been scoring at training that two days ago, and I believe that if he's even going to pair Morifin Donsu in Bebiani's game, they have the likes of Prince Badu, who has already played a game for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. When you talk of Ediana, they have the likes of Daniel Awini, formerly of Accra Lions, Oseko, formerly of the Jam and the Nations FC. Of course, they've Vision have also gotten some 3 players loaned from Nations FC of Farouk Mohammed, former Hohoi United striker, who scored 17 goals, 15 goals in his first and second seasons of the club, but failed to do some kind of goals for Nations FC. For me, the second window signings has been good for the clubs, apart from House of Oak, who couldn't sign any player. And
how crucial would that be to their title chances? And what would be the advantage? Because all the other title contenders were in the market, at least 1 or 2 players to augment the squad. Bar Hearts of Oak. How does that really affect them?
Well, they are trying to maintain their unbeaten home run. They also try to get some points away from home. That is why probably going into the serious game with Vision FC come tomorrow. And already they are in town. And when you talk of Bebiani Gold Stars, they are defending champions. They believe that they've also not lost a game at home. They only drew 1 game, that is with Mediama in the midweek game that was played about some weeks ago. So they also believe that they can augment their attacking powers by adding Augustine Boache. So you should really understand what is really going on the
All
the
right,
market.
so let's take a look at the fixtures for match day 19. And coach, you bear with me that these are some mouth-watching, cagey fixtures we have. But then it begins here, our featured match, Accra Hearts of Oak taking on James FC. And we'll be talking about that in a bit. But then tomorrow at the Dance Park in Bibiani, Kumasi Asante Kotoko will be trekking all the way there. And they'll be facing the defending league champions. We'll also talk about that. Vision FC will be up against Mediama Sporting Club. That should also be a mouth-watching one. Then on Sunday, our featured match will be Nations FC against Ediana FC. We've spoken about the signings Ediana has done in the window, but then also up north, Karela United will host Samatex, and Nuruddin Amadou will be welcoming his former side, the side he won the title with. Basakoli Stars also take on Bechem United. There's Heart of Lions also up against 11 Wonders. Now, Young Apostles, they lost on match day 18, and they will be hosting Hohoi United, also troubled after sacking their former coach, bringing in a new coach, and he begins with this game. Now, Brekum Chelsea, also at the Golden City Park, will take on Swedro All Blacks. A bet on the Kotoko game, going all the way to Bibiani. That should be crucial for them.
A very crucial game for Kotoko. Karim Zito has been given 3-match ultimatum, or he gets the sack. So for me, he's so happy to have Albert Amoah back into the team. Unfortunately for Kotoko fans, they will not see him in Bebiani, but they are going to see the young chap that they signed from Mid City. I'm talking about Yakubu Dogo. He's going to partner Morifin Donsu. Kotoko may go into that game with a 4-4-2 plan. Prince Badu is going to start. France were not happy in their game against Brekum Chelsea when he came in as a left back. But he came to Kotoko as a pivot. So probably he's going to partner Hubert Jehu. And let's see what happens in that game tomorrow.
Definitely, let's see what happens. So this is the standards, and that's it. Mediama Sporting Club. Some respite. They have some breathing space for now because they are 5 points at the top of the table. And then there's Bibiani Gold Stars on 32, Ediana on 32. Now, 2 teams, Hearts of Oak, Kotoko, both locked at 31 each. And then Dreams FC making the top half of the table. But then it's Dreams taking on Hearts of Oak. And then the second half of the table has got Swedro All Blacks on 23. Now you have Bechem, and then also Nations on 22, and a couple of teams over there. But in the drop zone, there's Hohoi and there's Brekum Chelsea. Now, let's focus on Hearts and James FC. Hearts trying to narrow the gap on Mediama, and how crucial will a win be for them?
I believe that the win over Hohoi United has boosted the morale of Hearts of Oak. And at the same point, they are missing their deputy captain, Osei Sibe, due to accumulated cars. I mean, when you talk of Mauli Wayo, who came from the bench to score that long goal for Hearts of Oak, is also not playing due to the same accumulation of cars. And of course, Martin Kakari. These are three key players Hearts of Oak will be missing. But Didi Dramani believes that when you're a player of Hearts of Oak today and given the opportunity, you should be able to account for whatever he has asked you to go and do on the pitch of play. That is why we are going to see George Paco, we are going to see Hamza Issa, and of course, you talk of Abdul Karim in Murford and Opon Frani to be able to hold their own playing Dreams FC, who are in their last two visits here at this venue was awful against 11 Wonders and against Sweden Blast. So you could clearly see from the Dreams FC team that they're a bit worried because their last two visits was not good. So coming to this game, they need to up their game before they'll be able to get something from
Now talking a bit about Accra Hearts of Oak, there's no Calvin Osei Sibe. We all know he's been rock solid in defense for them. Are they going to miss his services this afternoon?
No, I believe that Kujo will do a good job. We saw him in Hohoi partnering Osei Sibe. Now, Ali Mohammed, who played in the Mediama game, is back into the setup. He's one of the finest centre-back you can have in our local league. For me, I think that their partnership will be solid with Benjamin Asare behind them.
Now, that's the away team, Dreams FC. And we'll talk about them with Fred Drummond coming off the bus. And that's the dressing room. And these are the colours they'll be donning in this afternoon fixture against Accra Hearts of Oak. They're still believing. They won't stop believing. But would they be looking at, winning over here? Because they lost in the reverse fixture at home. That game was played in Tema. Now they play away from home at a place where they can also call home.
They are happy to have John Entry in their midst. He's the coach on the field of play when Dormon is on the touchline. He's an experienced player, and the young ones are looking up to him. Ebenezer, the captain, the deputy captain for the side. He's also doing. You have Salifu in Murford, Mo Shaban on the left side of the attack, and of course Suraj Sedu, a former Hearts of Oak key player in the team of Dreams FC. I believe that the first round of the league, they struggle a bit. They've gone 4 games at home, and they are doing wonderfully well. Even going all the way to Karela to pick a point from that game tells you that in their minds, if they really want to do something with the inclusion of John Entry, who has got experience and know how to score goals, then probably they are in for a game against Accra Hearts of Oak.
Most definitely. We now have to listen to both coaches. We first listen to the head coach of Accra Hearts of Oak, Masoud Didi Dramani, who believes that he will always prioritize winning over scoring lots of goals, and then also from Wilfred Drummond, who wants to keep the goal, the win streak going. Let's listen to both coaches. Coach, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, you returned back home to a place you call Fortress. The last 3 games over here won by a 1-goal margin. Now, what's the objective for this game? Are you looking at winning all 3 points, or you are looking at curbing that issue of not scoring lots of goals?
Oh, I think that we don't control a moment when many goals are not scored. I think that every team would have wished to score as many as they can and then to concede none. I think that we come in with the mentality of coming out to play to win. And so we are very positive in our approach. We need to improve on, on our consistency, keeping up consistency and be more sustainable in our approach.
Now, for the first time since match day 7, you have both your number 1 and your number 2. That's Benjamin Asare, who's the captain, and then also Solomon Agbasi. Both goalkeepers have been making the headlines in recent times. How important is it to have the 2 of them?
Sometimes it's just unnecessary, on the news, because whether you like it or not, when one was not capable of being there, he was absent. And so if the person is ready, why not you play? So finding them, we have had them come like this in our previous games. We have found Asare being there and Agbesi deputizing him. We have found Asare being there and then Swaib deputizing him. We have found Agbesi being there and then Swaib deputizing him. We have found Agbesi being there and then Stephen Otopa deputizing him. So in any case, you need a squad list, and in any case, you need to pick, a lineup.
Thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure.
Wish you all the best of luck. Coach, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, the second match day in the second round, match day 19. Now, you began the second round with a win. How important will it be for you to continue with that winning streak?
Very, very important, because the first round of the season, we were basically inconsistent, but Dreams FC is one of the best second half performance from last season. And this is what we intend to repeat this season. We started very well. We beat Heart of Lions 3-0. it wasn't an easy game. Heart of Lion is a very, very, very good team, but we find a way, to break them down. And this afternoon, we're playing Accra Suffolk, another tall order. I mean, we have our game plan, and I believe the players would play to the instructions.
Now, let's talk about one of your players, Seydou Suraj, who has been your most outstanding player this season. How important will he be in the setup, and how do you intend to use him to break the Hearts of Oak defense?
Yeah, very, very important. He's an attacking-minded player. Yes, we expect creativity from him. We also expect goals from him. But he's not the only player. We have Enchu, we have many others. At the end of the day, this team should be balanced. We should be able to play with the ball. That's in possession. We should also be able to play without the ball. That is out of possession. So it's going to be very tactically astute game.
Thank you very much. All the best of luck.
You're welcome.
All right, so that's the thoughts and expectations of both coaches, Masud Didi Dramani and then also Winfred Dorman. Now, Coach Ibedizat Sifa, both coaches have spoken and they all clearly have the objectives, but it looks like it's the 3 points they are all chasing.
Of course, Didi Dramani will talk about the 3 points because the player who normally comes from the bench to score goals for them is not in the team today. If Hamza Issa do not score, House of Oak, who scores for them?
All right, so let me quickly give you the statistics over there at the bottom side of your screen where you have their last 5 games. And the defeat in there came all the way in Takwa, where it was a big game. It was a crucial game, but a point would have done. But that's the only defeat in their last 5.
Yeah, I believe that if you have a team that have played 18 games, just conceding only 7 tests, so how defensively they are very good.
Yeah.
They have one of the best goalkeeper, or Ghana's #1 goalkeeper imposed in the person of Benjamin Asare. His absence, Solomon Agbashi came in, and of course, we've all seen his exploits. I believe that Hearts of Oak has got something that his clubs do not have, their mental toughness in terms of the games that they've played. They are struggling in terms of getting the balls at the back of their opposing nets. That is why Didi Dramani is talking about getting concentrating on the points than.
And that's also the last 5 games for Dreams FC. 2 defeats over there, but then both came on the road, and they are on the road again today. They've not been good travelers, have they been?
Yeah. Tactically, I think that they need to improve when playing away from Tuba. At the Tuba AstroTurf, you could see Dreams FC doing everything possible to get all the 3 points. But away from Tuba, they struggle. Yeah. I said earlier on, their previous 2 games here, this same venue, they lost to All Blacks, and then 11 Wonders. Not just lost, they couldn't play well, and that was why you saw Dorman very furious with his goalkeeper and some of his players. So I also believe that mentally they need to be tough before they can even do something against Hearts of Oak.
Mentally, they need to be tough. It's start time to head for a commercial break. When we are back, we'll join the feed, and Benjamin Willie Graham is our commentary for the game.
It's 3:30 p.m. here in Accra. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Legon Stadium. And, of course, it's match week 19 of the Ghana Premier League. Hearts of Oak at home against Dreams FC. And looking to and coming into this game, pretty much sure they have a chance of moving up on the Premier League log. Into this game, Hearts of Oak have just picked up 10 points from the last 5 games, both home and away. That's 2 points per game on average. And so they obviously are landing into this game looking to superbly paw their way back onto contention. At least if they do have a chance of winning the Premier League title, it's definitely going to be a huge work there for the fans and for Dreams FC. They're beginning to pick the pieces up together in the Premier League. And so match officials this afternoon obviously getting ready to usher the two teams back onto the field there to decide how the future in terms of winning any aspect of the Premier League will start here at the Legon Stadium. The Phobians who've not been playing their matches at the Accra Sports Stadium for some time now they've found some bit of hope and, of course, some bit of confidence at the Legon Stadium, where they have to now change the narrative. Their coach, Masudi Dramani, picked up a very vital win against Hoa United, a goal against the home side then in match week 18, certainly giving them a hope here in the Premier League. But for Dreams FC, it's a story for them to be told, and the coaches are beginning to make some changes. They're looking to have the command and, of course, the authority in this game this afternoon here at the Legon Stadium. Kickoff obviously is about starting very soon there. The Phobians in their rainbow colours and getting ready for the match against Dreams FC.
Yeah, good afternoon, Benjamin. It's always a big game. It's always a big game for either side. And for Hearts of Oak, they still have the eyes on the ultimate prize. They return home, and this place has been good for them. And they'll be hoping that they can avenge that defeat here, a year ago against that side. They'll be hoping that they win. But for Dreams FC, it's also been decent for them. They started the second round with a decent 3-0 win over Heart of Lions. They'll be hoping to continue from there.
Yeah, very important decision there for both sides in terms of how they walk into this particular game. Hearts of Oak really having back in their fold there. Benjamin Asari was imposed against Hoa United, so they just made 2 changes to the team that won against Hoa United. Ali Mohammed replacing Osei Sibe. Abdul Karim also coming in to replace Mauli Wayo, the goal scorer, against Hoa United. 2 changes there for Hearts of Oak. But good news is Benjamin Asari had a clean sheet against Hoa United.
Yeah, and that was a set in 9 games in the Premier League this season. But I think that the most creative aspect of the game will fall on Abdul Karim and then also George Paku. They'll be tasked to do, the creativity as far as advancing to the last or the final 10, and then also feeding the attackers some good balls for them to score. They've not been scoring. They have some quality up front, but then some people have said that they are more defensive. They care about clean sheets than getting goals.
Yeah, so the officials once again talking about who they're going to officiate the game. They're centre referee by Odum Gilbert Mensah in lines 1, and lines 2 there is Enes Abate. Enes Akati, I should say, and the fourth official is Adani David. So these are the officials for today's game, and Hearts of Oak obviously would definitely be banking their hopes in once again in their captain, Benjamin Asari, who certainly is giving them a lot of hope there in terms of how they're able to come into this game. Just one change there for Dreams FC in this game, and so Mohamed Shaban Nasir is sitting out for Suraj Saidu, who is just coming in to ensure that at least they solidify their back line in terms of a play up front, and so Suraj comes in to change the narrative.
Yeah, and it looks more like a 3 in defense and 5 in midfield where they'll be creating the overloads. But I think that'll be playing more, with their back facing the post, and definitely that'll be a 5 back. And their last 2 away games hasn't really been good. It's been defeat on the road, and they'll be hoping that with this one they could at least keep their sheets clean.
So the two teams definitely come into the game in terms of the performance and how they have worked their way out, and they will continue with the performance. Hearts of Oak, and you look at Masudi Dramani and how he's been able to work things out for his side. It's always been sometimes very difficult for the fans to really understand him, and so as a man, Wilfred Dorman, he's worked out perfectly there for the side, and will continue to work his team in terms of any win that they want to have in the Premier League. But it was a very important win there for Dreams FC at home against Bechem United when they beat them by 2-1, and they continue with their performance, and now they will have to see how they'll be able to come here in this game against this man, a very, very agile goalkeeper, Benjamin Asari, who seemed to be the main man, the talking point in terms of Hearts of Oak's performance in the Premier League.
Yeah, if they have any chance of winning this game, then they would have to go past this man who has been, excellent in between the sticks for Accra Hearts of Oak this season. For Dreams FC, they've been bad travellers in 8 away games this season. They've only had 1 draw. They've lost 7. They've only scored 5 times, conceded 13. And it tells you how bad they've been on the road. And maybe they'll be hoping that there's a game that could at least, turn everything around for them.
So match officials now trying to signal us for this game, match week 19 of the Premier League, and here at the Legon Stadium, Hearts of Oak at home against Dreams FC. Certainly two teams based in Greater Accra region coming up against each other, and the Phobians want to continue from where they left off in Hohoe, and so a win for them certainly gives them the hope that they can also make amends in terms of winning the Premier League title. It's something the two teams are looking to work on, and so trying to get their attackers up front there. Maoli Wayo, who's not part of this game, was a player who certainly gave them the 3 points in Hohoe. And for Dreams FC, we want to continue with their performance in terms of how they were able to get those wins against Bechem United, and how the coach, Wilfred Drummond, is looking to get the team to attack and, of course, respond perfectly in terms of how the fans have also been waiting patiently to have their growth in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's crucial for them. It's crucial for both sides. Like you rightly said, for Accra Hearts of Oak, they are 6 points behind league leaders Miedema. And a win in this game, we'll see them closing on them, just narrowing the point gap to just 3. And it's important that they get a win over here. The worry has been how poor they've been up front, fluffing chances here and there. But if they could get a win here, I think they would really, really appreciate it.
Expect to see a lot of work there from the likes of Kelvin Ahiable in midfield there for Dreams FC, and also Suraj Saidu. Hope has been banking on this young man in terms of how Dreams FC want to play. And Hearts of Oak want to put possession neat and simple around the 18-yard box of Dreams, and they try to ping the box really among themselves, and as they move forward there with Ranford Mintz on the ball here for the Phobians. Looking to find space and always looking to have the likes of George Paku playing a part, but have to lose possession now for Dreams FC. To quickly move forward. He's looking for the runs of the attacking players and able to pick up the pieces here as Dreams FC have the attacker Abdul Razak Salifu on the ball here. He's got to change possession, and the captain for the side also coming in, John Entry. And here comes Yaovi Gedet, Kelvin Ahiable. Now Dreams FC beginning to dictate the pace.
It was a good ball up front, and you could see Abdul Razak playing off the shoulders of the two defenders. So easy for him to run into that channel and pick up the ball, but unfortunately too many passes over there. It will be a chance wasted.
Yeah, so the opportunity is obviously going to be wasted. The Hearts of Oak have been very much solid in terms of how they have picked out the pieces in the game. In terms of the defensive backline there for Dreams FC, they have the likes of El Haj, Umar. No foul. He's playing a role there in the game, and a good chance now for Hearts of Oak to see if they can get the first goal, but just sweeping across the face of goal. Very good opportunity there for the Phobians to see if they can have the first goal here.
Yeah, that was a good ball. That's a good ball into the central area. 6-yard balls, but no one there to connect to that, and it was George Park. We've spoken about the fact that he's one of the 2 creative midfielders, in the Hearts of Oak setup, who will be looking at, finding the attackers. And just look at that, just on the volley, hit that one, hoping that someone will just connect to that. George Park, who getting close, very, very close.
Long ball forward there for the Phobians, and now charging. Lovely play here. Hearts of Oak beginning to attack the Kubuating Henry. They're trying to go with the left foot there. Ambitious effort for the attacking player there for the Phobians.
Yeah, trying to go for the spectacular from the third stance, Kubuating. It's the second time in a matter of seconds we've seen them breach the left-hand side of the Dreams FC defense again. A 1v1 with Christian Owusu. Just a bit acute of an angle over there, but Kubuating trying to try his luck from that distance, and always going to rise high. Has been good 2 surges for Accra Hearts of Oak. It looked promising for them.
Adam Saminu also playing a role there essentially in midfield. Again, a bit scrappy at the moment there, but the Phobians have been able to get themselves out there, not too much away from the danger zone, but Dreams FC looking to have a little bit of possession just right in front of their own area. Ball whipped into the far side, looking to pick up Kofi Kuma Jr. And here comes Hearts of Oak once again. It's a very poor play there for the Phobians. Ball given away by Dreams FC quietly. They picked up by Omar Fani in midfield centrally. Now beginning to ping the ball here to Kwaku Henry Boateng, and so again on the left foot, looking for some sort of support there. He's able to get Hartlepool, not in a hurry, at least, to hit the balls into a very good area there. Paku again trying to swivel his way through. James FC now have to pick the pieces up. Charging forward, it can be a chip from behind there, so it's a foul.
A good call. That's where the strength of the team is. That's where they create the overload, and it looked to be a fast breakaway, like Saidi Suraj, very tricky on the ball, and Abdul Karim just had to foul him just to avert that danger that was looming.
Hartlepool sitting fifth on the Premier League table. 31 point they have now. Dreams FC trailing behind with 10 places with 23 points. Interesting, Hartlepool have just recorded 50% home win rates this season. Dreams FC has suffered 88% away loss percentage in the last 6 head-to-head matches at Hartlepool. And Dreams FC have played out 67% of those encounters where the Phobians have the statistical edge. Certainly looking at the win percentage there for Hartlepool, you might probably want to say that at least 45% of some of the fans expect them to pick a win, and Kuma really getting the ball away to a very unproductive area.
Talking about the percentage, it's just right, it's accurate. If you want to win the league, they should be winning close to 70% of your home games, and in contrast, Hartlepool, they've only won 4 out of the 9 games they've played, including just 1 so far. They are drawing now, so it's not really been good as compared to the other contenders, Medium and Coast Stars.
Trying to move for Ahmed. Hamza Issa here as well, pushed away by Kofi Kuma Jr. And Hamza Issa really been quite 6 minutes or so, but sometimes when he gets into his groove, he's able to torment the centre backs.
Yeah, there's been
runs there, Hamza Issa.
Yeah, it's been easy for them penetrating the back line. And already we've seen them had a couple of touches in the Dreams FC 18-yard box. It tells you how easy and sloppy it's been by the Dreams FC defense.
Well, the first corner kick of the afternoon there for the Phobians, the home side. Dreams FC looking to defend here. Talk about the good teams obviously setting themselves up when it comes to set pieces there to the far post. And they're able to recycle back into the 12-yard area. Hartlepool really have had to say that they're a team with the least number of goals scored in the league so far, just 12, followed by Summer Texan Hall United with 13 each, while Vision and United Nations FC also have 12 goals each.
Ironically, they've kept more clean sheets than goals scored. It tells you, what the game plan has always been, keeping it tight at the back. They've conceded more than once. Just once that season, or twice against Kerala, and then also good start.
He had a go now, Adam Saminu. Couldn't get the ball straight down to his teammates. He's been pushed away for a corner kick there by Ransford Mensah. Seeing Hartlepool and Dreams FC battling things out here. Lovely pass now to the right-hand side, and Mensah really quick on his feet there to make sure he thwarted any dangerous play there from Dreams FC. Making a sorry, very much alert there, trying to get his team to be very, very minded in terms of what to do on the box. Inside that, behind the border. Push and shove happening in the 18-yard box. And yeah, of course, and there's going to be a push in the box, and referee really having the retake of the corner kick. George Paku probably had been hit on the face there, maybe an extension of the arm there, and yellow card it is.
Yeah, this could be crucial. The referee has a decision.
Tell you what,
now, yeah. He's reaching for his back pocket, and you don't know what could happen, but I smell danger here.
There's a yellow card. What were you smelling?
Yeah, fair to say, there was definitely something going to be done. There was a card going to be flashed, and only the benefit of the replay could tell us what actually happened between Razak. There was some pushing and shoving in the box before that corner was, taken, but I think the referee was within close proximity to have witnessed what happened, and Razak should now be careful. And that was the incident again, a couple of shoving there, but you could see Razak just pulling, dragging Paku to the floor there.
I'll tell you what, is the first player to have his name taken, referee Moro. St. James FC would not be happy at all having the player name taken very early on in the game. kick again, and Daddy just behind the ball there. Trying to see how best they'll be able to work things out here. Ball whipped into the near post and repelled by Hearts of Oak. Well, again, it's going to be a very poor play there. Hearts of Oak may have a chance for the first goal, and they do have it. It's a first time opportunity. Oh! And they have missed that. Mohammed Hussein just 1v1 against the goalkeeper, and he flapped this opportunity. Poor defensive play from Dreams FC, but how on earth did Hussein Mohammed just miss that opportunity?
Yeah, for a minute he was showing signs of bravery going into that ball, winning it. The second minute you're thinking he was just going to go past the goalkeeper, just flaps a golden opportunity, and this could be a contender for miss of the season. Just look at that, no control at all. The goalkeeper does so well, but then just look at the space between himself and the last player, and Hussein could have done better. He just could have gone past the goalkeeper. That's the worst decision. There's
another foul here. But again, it's going to be a lot of talking point there for Hussein. He's just alone with the goalkeeper. That is on partner. Another player got his name taken there, and that is Hearts of Oak's David Oponfrani. In the space of just 5 minutes, 2 yellow cards were flashed out.
Yeah, it's an Accra derby. It's always feisty between these two teams, but like you rightly said, the talking point would definitely be that Hussein miss, but then Afrani clearly tripping his marker there, ain't she? And playing in that DM position, definitely that could slow him down a bit.
First player to have his name taken is Dreams FC Abdul Razak Salif, where now the Oponfrani Hearts of Oak also got his name taken. And again, the fans are just in the stance, they're arguing about the Hussein's miss. You talked about it being a miss of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a miss of the season contender, obviously. Yeah, you just had the goalkeeper to beat. Yeah, you just can't believe how he's not scored, but the play doesn't come back to 100 in the game.
That's a very good opportunity. At least again, defensively, Dreams FC just being very poor at the back there. I was thinking he was just going to head the ball out and play, but decided to have his foot in. And again, losing that opportunity. Oh, lovely play here by Benjamin Sarr, is always up for the task. That was the best of delivery there from John Entry.
Execution a bit poor there, and Didi still in disbelief, still complaining, and we'll see his reaction after Hussein missed the opportunity. It tells you that that would have been a crucial moment in the game. Perhaps maybe it would have, just boosted your confidence in such a game. Forget that they've lost to Dreams FC here before. They considered an early goal, and that was the only goal of the game. That was last year, and the tables could have turned if Hussein Mohammed had just buried that.
Again, it's just coming in. Hearts of Oak have had to deal with the balls there. Good play. And I was expecting to have the likes of Hausa Isa coming out spectacularly to see if they can get the first goal there for the Phobias. But again, you were talking about Hussein Mason. The fans are going to have a lot of talking points in that particular miss. Really expecting more from him as well.
Ironically, he got that goal for them in the reverse fixture as well, and a lot is expected of him as an attacking midfielder to add up to the goals.
It was an interesting win there for Hearts of Oak against Hull United. Mauliwayo with the goal there for the side. Well, they have 17% of matches played in a draw. Mensah with the left footed cross into the box, one repelled by Dreams FC. Lovely play there by Hearts of Oak, beginning to put some bit of pressure now on Dreams FC to see they get the opening here.
Go kick.
Off the line it goes there for the goal kick.
They've made some decent entries into the defensive half of Dreams FC, but you talk about the coordination, the biggest chance being the losing chance, but we've seen a couple of touches as well one crossing to the box by Hamza Issa, and we just saw him hit that spectacular volley as well, and another throw-in going as far as the 6-yard box. It's been decent for them trying to penetrate, but you just have to make the right decisions whenever but they're fluffing it, and it's been their bane all season, being the team with the fewest goals scored, and this has been their story, just creating quality chances but not being able to bury them. We've seen about 5 chances already for the way of the Phobians, but you talk about the quality of finishing, and it's been non-existent, and that's what they need to work on. The coach has admitted that they have goal scoring issues, and they need to work on that if they really want to win.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the problems that the Phobians really have in terms of matches played at home. And they've got 3 wins at home, 1 defeat, and that happened against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and 2 drawn games. I tell you what, take a look at the win probably to Hearts of Oak in terms of how many goals they've scored. They just scored 1-0 against Samatex, 1-0 against Nations FC at home, 1-0 against Vishin at home, and then losing to Kotoko by a goal to them, and drawing 2-2 with Viviani Gold Stars at home, and then goalless against Hearts of Lions at home. And so that's the difficulty in terms of their scoring at home. It hasn't really been that excellent for the Phobians.
Yeah, it's actually the worst in the league. It's the worst in that department or category in the league. In 9 games, including this one, they've only scored 6 times, and they've only scored more than once at home in just 1 game, and that game in that 2-2 draw against Gold Stars. So it's really a problem for them. It's not like they do not have options up front. They do, but this has been the story. The first 16 minutes gives us an indication what has actually happened to them all season. They've been wasteful in their games.
Dreams FC have had very difficult times in terms of 6 matches played at home. They have lost 4 of those matches, or 5 I should say, of those matches at home, and the only time they never got a defeat was a draw against Karela. That was an away game. But you're talking about the away matches there of Dreams FC, and 6 games are played away from home. They've never been able to win any of that away from home. So the difficulty for Dreams FC is that they have been very, very poor on the road in the Premier League. 88% of the matches played at home, away from home, they've always picked up a defeat. Yet again, we're picking signals of another yellow card offense there for Dreams FC's Yaovi Chris Get on the foul here. And so he's yellow carded, Get it. And the referee's just giving 3 yellow cards in the space of just under 20 minutes.
It's gotten physical at times in the game. We've seen it. John H. will try to protest a bit, but I doubt that.
That is not the one.
I doubt that will be rescinded, but Abdul Karim should be fine. I think a bit of a concussion there for him. Should be fine. Well, is this man I'm worried about? Is this man I'm really worried about? Masoud Didi Dramani. And the last time I spoke to him, was in Ahoy, and he complained a lot about the fact that they're not really scoring goals, and he's hoping that at least looking at the chances. But that's scared him. That was a needless tackle there, and we now have to be very, very careful and remain that of this game.
Dreams about to see how they move forward here. Ransford Mensah with the left foot, of course, into the far post there. It's going to be picked up by Rahman Osman, the goalkeeper. Again, it tells you that both teams are beginning to come out in terms of the energy and speed in the attacking play. In terms of the performance here, again, have another player who had to open pushed away. Hearts have scored 12 goals and conceded 7 in the 18 games played in the Premier League. I'll tell you what, on the other side, Dreams FC have scored 23 goals and have conceded 20. Poor defensive play there from Dreams FC.
Yeah, but attacking-wise, they've scored nearly twice as many as Accra Hearts of Oak, and that's a positive for them, regardless of where you choose to look at it from. But they're scoring goals at home. In their last home game, it was a 3-0 win over Heart of Lions. A scoreline Hearts of Oak are yet to record in any game this season. They are yet to score more than 2 or twice in a game, and that's a problem for them. We've seen it, in this game already. The chances they are flapping. Hamza getting close, Hussein getting close, but you're thinking now they can sign players. How do they add up to the numbers up front? You're looking at Medium are doing lots of business in the transfer window, but unfortunately for Hearts, that's not your story.
James FC do have another concern there with the player down. And again, Josiah, just have to look at this there. With 54% of shots being off target for Hearts of Oak, with just 37% of that being on target. Again, it's up to be a source of worry there. And they have some of the officials of Dreams FC in the stands watching the game. And you talk about Dreams FC's off-target shot, 45% of that. But that's compared to the on-target shot there, you have just 47% of that for Dreams FC. In terms of the balance and narrative between the two sides, and well, again, you have Solomon Bashija, again, a former player of Dreams FC, now moving crossing Kappa to Hearts of Oak. But again, a concern there for any coach is that you have a lot of a percentage when it comes to the off-target shot there, but fewer on on-target.
Yeah, it also boils down to the quality of shots taken, perhaps, especially for Dreams FC. Having 47 of their shots on target tells you is a good thing. The accuracy of their shots, is there. It's glaring, but then they are putting the chances away. Unfortunately for Hearts of Oak, just 37 of their shots being on target, and they are not scoring. And it's a big worry for them as well.
Here comes John Entry. And John Entry trying to get the attention of the assistant referee there. And it was pushed away, and Ali Mohammed here. That's the first game we're playing Hearts of Oak, playing without their trusted partner, CSCB. A little of a shift in the defensive line for the Phobians. Get to see how that will be working personally there for the Phobians. And so you have Gordon Kujo and Ali Mohammed working as partners at the back. And a ball into the box, and it's been collected there by Osman Rahman.
They've been dominant in midfield at Hearts of Oak. They've passed the ball very well. They've been expansive when they have to, but I think it's a delivery into the box that has really not been up there. You talk about the quality of deliveries. Kweku Boateng playing from the right-hand side. Hussein also playing at the left-hand side, mostly as an inside number 10. And we've not really seen some good balls, good balls that would actually get them goals. But I think as far as possession is concerned, they've been dominant. They've controlled affairs and every department of the game.
Hearts of Oak now. Of the likes of Paku, just very much busy in the box. Oh, good chance now for Henry Kweku Boateng. Another ball recycled, and Hearts of Oak once again can't just get the connection right. Just getting the balls into the very good places there, but the connection has always been a problem there for the Phobians.
Yeah, again, another chance gone wasted, and it was Kweku Boateng that did well with the ball recovery, and checked onto the left foot, but then that cross wouldn't be met by any Accra Hearts of Oak player, and it's about time. Started committing more men into the box. They are having lots of touches in the box, but nothing productive.
Ali Mohammed with that interception there. Kweku Boateng is a target here, but just can't get to the ball. Players been pretty much busy in the midfield there for Dreams FC. Again, it's going to be how they quickly mobilize almost everybody in terms of the play. The ball to the far post to be picked up by Suraj Saidu. Oh, a lot of energy in the ball there, just giving the ball away.
He's a tough lad, Suraj. Quite a very tough lad over there. That body check on Kweku Boateng, but he just wasn't able to recover the ball. And he's been quiet. He's their go-to man. He gets them the goals. He creates for them, but he's been very, very silent this afternoon.
Here's Kuma here. Here comes Gede and Anyable. Finds space down to Adade. And Dreams FC will have John Entry coming in to be a part of the play here. But again, it's going to be another foul. And Chris Gede is already on a yellow card, but this time he's the victim.
That's how deep John Entry had to come. He's been isolated for, most of the game. We've not really seen him in action, John Entry, and this time, out of frustration, he drops a bit deeper to have a feel of the ball.
Benjamin Asari really would want to have another clean sheet. Remember, he's the #1 goalkeeper for the Black Stars and looking to have injury-free. Attention for them to at least have him play the World Cup. John Entry. He's got a lot of experience there. John Entry played in Egypt as well. And the best of control there for Hayableh. And so Mohamed Hussein was the last Hartlepool player whose goal gave Hartlepool 3 points against Dreams. No player has scored more in the fixture than Daniel Efriebane and David Van Dijk, too, when the two sides met. Again, you talk about Dreams FC with Raj Saidu and Abdulrazak Salif, who have both scored 4 goals each for Dreams FC in the last 10 matches.
It's been a fixture that has always been in favour of Dreams FC. They've dominated this fixture, proud to Hartlepool's win in the first round.
And with a throw here. Going to be another left-footed ball whipped into the box for Dreams FC to have John Entry with a header here. And that was a very good cross, but not the best of connection for John Entry.
That's what he's been asking for. There's a sort of striker he is. He's a target man, strong lad. Has that aerial presence as well, and he wants such balls. Just look at that, a thumping header in between the two Hartlepool centre-backs. That's Ali Mohammed and then also Kujo. No chance for the defenders at all, but just had to guide that one on target.
Well, so the goalkeeper here is the youngest goalkeeper amongst the two teams, 16 years of age. He kept 10 clean sheets there when he was playing for Sorin Nante in the Division 1 League. Won 4 Man of the Match awards there. And he has now moved to Dreams FC, 16 years. And he's having his Premier League for the Dreams FC. An incredible feat there for the young man.
Interesting feat. Historic, actually, for them, having a 16-year-old goalkeeper. We've seen some young goalkeepers in recent times.
Hamza Issa. Again, slalom round beautifully there by Kweku Henry Boateng. And Hamza Issa again had to find space to shoot, but had to shoot wide.
Yeah, they're asking questions. They're getting closer and closer with each, move they make up front. But Hamza Issa again not able to find the back of the net. It was a good move, played off the shoulder of the defender, Christian Owusu. Just look at that. It was an easy run into the channel, but just couldn't keep that one down. Credit, goes to Kweku Boateng, who made that amazing run up front. He's becoming more and more explosive, and Dreams FC will have to find an antidote to the runs he's making.
Again, he's just having the opportunity to play a part. Ali Mohammed has a total of 10 goals contribution so far for Hartlepool. That's Premier League games played. Some matches played for Tamale City as well. And there you have some of the chances. It's going wide again. It's a foul there by Puma. Really the best of foul there against George Paku. So far he's not lit up the game, has he?
No, he's not, but it's quite, some expectations on his shoulders. George Paku, very, very creative lad. Has that, quick feet as well. Manages to get out of trouble whenever he's been crowded. Plays under pressure as well, press resistant. The qualities of this player goes on and on, but I think he's been silent in this game, and they would have to unleash him if they would want to create something, for the attackers up front. He's quite a good player on the ball as well, and you would want to feed him most of the balls.
And to get another player just been brought down. Just a difficult game for both teams to play in terms of the openings and the chances. I think Dreams FC have had not the least of chances. They had to focus in plenty of the ball just in front of Dreams FC and have flagged all those opportunities as well. I'll tell you what, Hartlepool have scored 3 goals in the last 5 matches in the Premier League. Not impressive at all, has it?
No, it's not, and it's one problem that we could talk about throughout the game, and it's been telling in this game in particular. More than 7 shots so far. they barely tested the goalkeeper, Osman, in post. Just 16 years of age, and you allow the goalkeeper to grow in confidence. The more we go, and the lesser you try to test him. And I think Hartlepool would have to guide some 1 or 2 shots onto the goalkeeper. We've not really seen any shot on target. The only job he had to do was to dine Hussein that goal scoring chance.
Half an hour gone already here at the Legon Stadium. Hartlepool nil, Dreams FC nil. Ninth place Dreams FC with 23 points after 18 games with 7 wins and 2 draw games, 9 losses for Dreams FC. Sure they want to have any loss here. And here comes the 16-year-old goalkeeper, Usman Rahman. And after getting the yellow card, Dreams FC's Abdul Razak Salifu has been pretty cautious and very much quiet in the game. Hasn't really got himself involved in any 50-50 opportunities that might be coming his way.
Yeah, he's been cautious after picking up that first yellow card of the game. Oh, he's working together with Johnny Intri up front today, and you've not really seen most of the balls go to them due to the fact that Hartlepool are working very, very hard in midfield to block all those passing lanes. But he's a dangerous attacker as well. And normally he thrives a lot, where Said Suraj plays closer to the attacking setup. I think that was a foul early on Chris Gede. Hansford Mensah. See him move into, attacking positions already in this game. Hansford.
That's a fucking control with the ball there. He's trying to keep things neat and simple. It's going to be Henry here. The ball whipped into the box and looking for handball call there by Hartlepool fans. We have none of that. It's pretty much of a busy afternoon there for Kuma. And we talk about the way both teams have set up and how they intend to utilize opportunities, and they have the chances once again. And ball whipped into the box with a handball. And again, there's Al-Hajumar, foul. There's a goalkeeper there trying to make sure he's able to organize his side. I'll tell you what, Oman Osman had 37 games played for Waasor Nante SC, 14 clean sheets, and 38 goals conceded, 13 MVPs as well. And yet again, it's going to be a headed ball, and there's a man we're just talking about picking it very neat and simple.
Yeah, and his confidence seemed to be rising, minute by minute. And that was a feeble ball. That wasn't going to beat him. You'd be expecting Hartlepool to be making him work, in between the sticks already. And that's something they are not doing now. Then it would only allow the goalkeeper to go in confident.
I'll tell you why you're talking about the goalkeeper. He's had 6 Premier League matches, making a 7th appearance there for Dreams. Again, 60% of possession there for Hartlepool against 40 for Dreams. He's got 2 clean sheets and 6 goals conceded there. Usman Rahman. Dreams now entry. Repelled by Hartlepool. Sent back now to be picked up by El Haj Umar.
Maybe thinking for the first time in the entirety of the game, we've not seen them enjoy the longest spell of possession Dreams FC. Not really seen them string 5-6 passes together. That's come as a result of being patient and keeping the setup.
Suraj again being fouled. An opportunity now for James FC's as a midfield.
And that's what they need to be doing now. They put him on the ball often. He's their danger man. He scored the most goals for them in the Premier League this season. He's their most creative player as well. And you know, they just need to find him, put him more on the ball, and he could be the one distributing those passes. He has an eye for a good pass.
Now Hartlepool trying to open the balls, and we once again given a chance, and Isa just calling for the ball in the boxes. Hussein waiting for it, but again it's been blocked by John. But again it's Kuma here, Kofi Junior Kuma for the block, and denying Hartlepool with a chance there. But again, quick feet, quick runs from the Phobians. But again, a lot of space there for Hussein. He was just waiting for the ball to tap in for the first goal. Hamza Isa decided to go solo there with a block there from Kuma.
I think the idea was to tee up Mohamed Hussein, who was making that forward run into the 6-yard box, but that ball never got to its intended destination. It was good defending there by Christian Owusu to deny that pass.
He's now 17 years of age. All right, so now he's actually moving into the ages from 16 in the Division 1 league, in the Premier League. He's just chucked 17 years, and so one again the youngest goalkeeper in the Premier League so far for both sides in the Premier League now for Hartlepool and Dreams, having a 17-year-old goalkeeper. That is a story.
Still incredible, Graham. It's still incredible being, you know, playing at the top flight consistently at age 17. You hardly see that happen. It's a very competitive league, and you need some sort of maturity, you know, to be in between the sticks for a team like Dreams FC. But I think he's really living up to expectations, and I think the sky is just a limit for this young goalkeeper.
Tell you what, there's another father on Paku, and Kofi Kuma for this one. He's been pretty busy there this afternoon, Kofi Kuma. Paku is unable to get the goals that are expected there from him in the Premier League. Two-man well formed here by Hartlepool, Dreams FC, and you have captain entry there. Ball into the box, and has to be repelled beautifully. Ball sent into the box once again. Hussein with a header, and the flag gone up for offside.
I think that was a good call. Hamza Isa, fraction offside before the ball arrived, and he knew it. He knew it. Failed to make the run back onside, and just look at that. Yeah, smart play by the Dreams FC defense. Fraction offside, but I think that was the right call.
The last 5 games there for Dreams FC, they've picked up an interest in the wins there. 3 wins and 2 defeats in the last 5 games. A hard win over Hearts of Lions, Holy Stars, and Brooklyn Chelsea. Interestingly, they have Shiraj Saidu on 6 goals, Abdul Razak Salifu 4, John Entry, and Jonathan Modine, all of them 2 goals each for Dreams FC. And here comes John Entry. On his space now, trying to have Ibn Zadadi involved in the action. Siraj sent back to him, and not able to keep possession there. Adam Saminu. Foku, and to keep it simple and funny. Or whipped into the midfield area as we headed down freely to George Paku. And we are just approaching the half-time break, and both sides haven't really been able to hit the back of the net there, but Hartlepool have seen plenty of opportunities just around the 18-yard box over Dreams FC.
They were clinical enough. They should have been 2 or 3 up by now. But their story continues. Being wasteful in front of goal, great chances, but you know, managed to put them at the back of the net, and it's really troubling for them. But for Dreams FC, give them credit for how they've been defensively. They've really been disciplined, keeping their shape intact.
Good opportunity now for Hussein, dragging the ball to the far side, and Hartlepool would want to turn things around beautifully. It's been done. Oh, lovely. And once again, another best of approach there for Hussein to pick it up. This man has been also involved in most of the attacking plays there for Hartlepool.
And you have the two attacking midfielders combining. Just look at that from Afrani. Lovely skill. Just no one saw that coming. No one expected that pass. Not even Hussein. And he was just a fraction of a second late to react to that ball. Mohamed Hussein. That was a lovely skill by Afrani.
So Saidu finds that daddy here for James. Kuma. The goal is here at the Legon Stadium. Good work now. And nobody hitting the ball there for Salifu. Nasari collect that one for Hearts of Oak.
That was a decent move by Dreams FC. Whenever they've had their chance, they've really moved forward quite nicely.
Funny. Let's talk about the control there for the players and having difficulties dealing with that.
It's been sloppy, very, very sloppy by the attackers, and Paku has had space, time to get that one under control. These are the balls you just need to work with. These are the kind of balls you just need to get right. Could be a half chance wasted.
Yes, Paku. Franny here for Hearts of Oak. Advertising for a cross, it brings it back to Paku. Looking for space in midfield to shoot now. Hussein dragged the ball back now. And still the Phobians are going to send a long ball into the box. And now Hamza Isa and Rahman Osman collect that one. Not the best of connection there for Hamza Isa.
And a good chance. Second shot on target for Accra Hearts of Oak, but not the kind of ball you would expect to beat Osman. But then look at that. Sloppy clearance. Very, very clumsy by the Dreams FC defense. And just look at that. So feeble. And you can see that shot from Hamza Isa. Again, not the best. Didn't have enough power. Took a bit of a bubble. And that made it even easier for Osman to deal with.
Paku again having some bit of an issue there. And so Hearts of Oak have only won once in their last 7 meetings against Dreams FC. That win was back in the 22nd of September 2024. Hearts of Oak was the away side in that encounter. And the last win as the home team against Dreams FC was back in 2022, a 3-1 win. We saw Daniel Fiyebani and Suraj Saidu on the score sheet there. Bit of a pulling break for both teams. And this particular juncture with Phobians coming out with a lot of their fans now. They have the Phobian Tertiary also coming to play their part, and they have the Jama session at the University of Ghana ahead of assemblage here at the Legon Stadium, all in a quest to ensure that the Phobians are in the right place in terms of wins there. They certainly hoping they have a chance to win the Premier League title, don't they?
Yeah, they need us. They need this full support of these fans, especially when they are playing in those home games. They've dropped some crucial points here. You know, Gold Stars, Heart of Lions, they dropped maximum points against Kumasi Santikonoko, but you'd always need your fans, to be behind you. You're the 12th man, you're the voice of this club, and they'll be in here in the arena each and every match, home match game, as crucial for the team.
Kuma's ball here. Lovely play now for entry. Look at that. It's a return from the ball from Aminu. And lovely ball there from Adade to whip in across here. And Dreams FC may want to have a go here. And again, it's a final touch on the ball there. Salifu just complaining about a little bit of a drag from behind. But there's a quality play there from Dreams. Good connection on the ball. Not the best of a connection there from Salifu. Was approaching the half-time. Still the team struggling to get the first goal. Match week 19 of the Premier League here at the Legon Stadium. Ball whipped into far post and come out with a header. Was over the part of the ball there, quickly recovering and just picking up an injury. players just needing some bit of assistance. We're doing 2 minutes of additional time here in the game at the Lagos Stadium. Hearts of Oak Dreams ball to near post and cleared by Salifu for Dreams. Now the ball there for Dreams FC to defend. The Lions are just almost there in the first half, and ball whipped in again. It's going to be Osman's punched the ball away, and the referee seeing that bit to be a push in the box and then impeding the goalkeeper as well. And the referee Morijusu ensuring that at least goalkeepers get the protection they need in the 6-yard box. Quality ball whipped into the box now, and Hearts of Oak really don't want to end the first half on a high note. Maybe able to hit the ball in the back of the net. That would be an incredible feeder for them for Dreams FC now. Would have to chase the game, but in time is George Parker here for Hearts of Oak. Tries the ball back to Mensah. Phobia's now in control in the midfield area. Pafani and combination with Abdul Karim, just trying to make sure that they have the goalkeeper Benjamin Sari involved. Ali Mohammed here for Hearts of Oak. Just looking at this watch Nabi in the first half very soon there, and so there's a go. There's a referee there. Morijusu ending the first half, and it's been Hearts of Oak Mohamed Hussein with that 1v1 miss against goalkeeper Usman Rahman, 17 years of age, is in pole position there for Dreams FC to ensure at least the end of the first half on a clean sheet. But the talking point will be, how did Mohamed Hussein miss that opportunity? And the fans will continue to be asking a lot of questions in the stands, and see how best the Phobians will come back in the second half to change the narrative here at half-time at the Lagos Stadium in match week 19 of the Premier League. Hearts of Oak 0, Dreams FC 0.
They've seen much of the ball. They've also created the most chances, but then, unfortunately, the biggest chance falling to Mohamed Hussein was fluffed. And it's now time to take the thoughts of the assistant coaches. I'm now here with Adnan Said, the assistant coach of Dreams FC. Coach, let me quickly take your thoughts on the first half. Have you been pleased with the performance of the team?
Thank you very much. I'm not pleased with the performance of my team because tactically we are better than this. Technically, we are better than what we are showing up. What we just need to do is that we are able to match them, and we have not conceded. We need to go back in, strategize, and come back into the second half and see what we can do.
All right, thank you very much for your time. So that's Adnan Said, who is assistant head coach of Dreams FC. He says he's not really convinced or impressed by the performance, but then he's hoping that the pep talk, in the dressing room could change everything for the second 45 in the game. Now, joining me is a goalkeeper's trainer of Accra Hearts of Oak, acting as the assistant. And now Najao joins me. Coach, let me take your quick thoughts on the first 45. Impressed?
Well, we are impressed because we have more of the balls. A lot with us to take final decisions at the upfront and then be more purposeful. Then I think what we are here for, we'll get it.
And now, singling out the attacking department, have you been pleased with their finishing? The coach always talks about the fact that you've been wasteful. Has that been the case?
We need to improve. Of course, yes, we need to improve at the final decisions we are making at the final third because that's what left, and then we need to improve on that.
Okay, thank you very much. All the best of luck for the second half. So that's Abdul Najau. He is the goalkeeper's trainer for Accra Hearts of Oak. You're still watching the halftime, talks here at the University of Ghana Stadium. Hearts of Oak joined goalless against Dreams FC. We head for a commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So it's goalless in our Friday kickoff game between Accra Hearts of Oak and Dreams FC. It's a game that has seen lots of chances, especially for Accra Hearts of Oak. They've created some big chances. The biggest falling to Mohamed Hussein after he raced for about 40 yards, but then couldn't go past the Dreams FC goalkeeper, Osman. But then for Dreams FC. They've been quite resolute in defense. I'm still here with Coach Ebenezer Stifa. Coach, the biggest chance, Mohamed Hussein. And if you were Didi Dramani, how are you reacting to that?
Well, it's very difficult to react to this situation. And I believe that decision-making from the House of Folk attackers has been very awful. And you ask yourself, why? It's very difficult to understand Hussein. About 40 yards, control the ball, get into the box, have the composure, raise your head, and just place the ball. I don't know what he wanted to do with the ball. For the goalkeeper to be running sideways, trying to deceive you, at least he should have even gone wide. And get the ball at the back of
the chance.
And
you don't know what he's thinking.
Watch the goalkeeper.
That's why he had the space.
Watch the goalkeeper. You don't get the ball closer to the goalkeeper about 2 inches before you try to open up the goalkeepers. But I think it is a very poor decision from Hussein. Hamza had the same thing when Henry was able to give him that cut back. And look at the technique that he used. The game has not been very intensive, but I think the House of Folk have created the decent chances in this game, if not 3-4. But they've blown all away. And this is a game whereby when Dreams FC are building up from the back, you could clearly see that they want to get into the game. And I'm sure that if they're able to get into the game and House of Folk has not scored a goal, House of Folk will be in trouble. Because for Didi Dramani, he's frustrated on the touchline. He's worried and he doesn't understand why his attacking players are just misusing the chances that is coming their way.
For the whole of the season, practically, we've spoken about Hearts of Oak being wasteful. And that's another chance that went begging over there. The cutback from Kweku Boate, and then the chance flapped. But if you're Didi Dramani, what are you doing? Because you can't buy, you didn't go to the market, you have to stick to the team you have. It's a team squad, but what are you doing about it?
You have to tell the players to just keep on focusing. They should keep their heads high. They should concentrate. Because at the end of the day, yes, there's a lot of pressure on us because we couldn't register any player. We are missing 3 of our players, but you've gotten the opportunity to play, and the chances are coming. Dreams FC loses possession. They have all their players behind the ball. Look at the level where John Entry comes to tackle. It tells you that defensively they think they are weak, so they are trying to block the pocket of spaces. But House of Folk is finding a way by Ali Mohammed using the long balls behind the Dreams FC back line, and they are getting the chances being created. But you ask yourself why. So I think that they have to create by making their mental toughness come into it, and then also have a composure when they get to the penalty area.
Right, now let's talk a bit about Dreams FC. They've been on the defensive side for most of the first half. We've seen the setup, the 3-back, but then usually it's a 5-back system. Up front, we've seen how isolated Razak has been. What did they need to do to find it? Because we've not also seen their go-to man in Seydou Suraj so far.
Seydou is playing his former club, and I believe that where he's operating from is not the usual Suraj that we know. I mean, we talk of Razak Salifu, the yellow card he considered was unnecessary, and that has slowed his game down. The referee has warned him twice, so I believe that John Entry should be able to speak with him on the foot when John Entry is with the ball, because his movements are very good. Adade is doing the runs all right. You could clearly see that Dreams FC are very good on the right side where Adade is operating, but they need to be purposeful the moment they get into the half of House of Folk if they really want to make a point or points in this particular game.
Interesting. So let's take a look at the general statistics after the first 45. And no goal scored, obviously. It's goalless. But just look at the shots over there. 2 shots on target for Accra Hearts of Oak. 1 header, and the other was a feeble ball from Hamza Issa that took a bubble. But then poor possession, 60%, 40 to Dreams FC. Hearts of Oak, they've seen most of the ball, but we've not really seen them, in full flow in the third half.
Yes, as you spoke to the assistant coach, they've seen more of the balls, but the decision making has been poor. You also have to give credit to the Dreams FC goalkeeper, the 16-year-old Osman. He's been fantastic. He's very calm. His area ability has been very good. His command at the back has also been very good. Look at the way when Hussein was committing him with the ball. He went sideways, tried to know the position of Hussein. He realized that Hussein was coming direct. So he has to face him, and Hussein made a mistake. Decision making.
Thank you very much. So it's still goalless at halftime. We'll be joining the feed for the second half, but right after the break.
Well, we're back for the second half of the game. Both Hartlepool and Dreams FC out of the tunnel already, shaking themselves for another 45 minutes of pure action here at the Legon Stadium. And Dreams having really contained the onslaught of Hartlepool in the first half. Want to continue same in the second half. So it's been a very cagey and entertaining game there. Benjamin Asari trying to work his team. There's been a lot of talk about him getting some personal endorsements to push Hartlepool's brand forward in the Premier League. There's also been talk about how the Phobians are also putting numbers together in terms of the Phobian tertiary to at least up them in terms of the support base in the Premier League. Very soon, both Hearts and Kotoko will be clashing at the Barbaira Stadium in another very classic game in the Ghana Premier League. We've already seen the first round of it at the Accra Sports Stadium where visitors Kotoko beat them by a goal to nil, and so the return encounter in Kumasi certainly will be an exciting one there for Benjamin Asari, a man who is in the hunt there to represent Ghana, the FIFA World Cup in the US, Canada and Mexico. The question is, would he be the #1 goalkeeper before that? And so we are back in the second half. The Phobians will get us on the way, defending from the left-hand side to right, and Dreams FC also moving from the right to end, and both teams remain unchanged from the first half team that started. The next 45 minutes clearly is an indication of what to expect from both teams and Hartlepool here. As match week 19 of the Premier League, and both teams, or every team is in the hunt there for the 3 points and at least to push them a bit in contention for a Premier League title. Hartlepool on the fit in terms of our position on the Premier League log. I still believe they have a chance to make amends.
Well, sure they do, but the first half wasn't just encouraging for the Phobians. You know, a wasteful first half for them. Just 2 shots on target. Had quite a number of chances as well, which they should have converted. But for Dreams FC, it was an okay, first half defensively. They kept their lines clean, they kept their sheets clean, they frustrated Hartlepool, and there were still spaces in there. And, for Dortmund, you'll be hoping that he can seal off those spaces, block the passing lanes, and then hope that they don't concede lots of chances in the second 45.
John Entry here for the teams that are coming in. Asari once again making his mark there, and just coming in. It's always difficult when you have a very strong side playing each other in the Premier League. Again, the wave of attack that you're expecting from both teams in the Premier League, especially in this game, is not what you're seeing as Dreams FC would want to see. They can attack here. Suraj Saidu has been brought down. Referee waves play to continue. John Entry on the right-hand side. Switching play, looking for Adade. Again, he's been cluttered by Hartlepool players, and so not able to have his way out. Well, it's going to be a corner kick according to the match officials.
Of course, it should be a corner kick. I don't know what the 2 players were thinking over there, but obviously that last touch came over a Hartlepool player, and they should have been dealing with that one. You have 2 players with the ball, no danger at all, no pressure from the Dreams FC player. And just look at that, from John Entry to space, trying to find, his teammate over there. And just look at that, Hussein and his teammate not dealing with that one.
Yeah, they come again with the first corner kick in the second half. So the visitors, as they try to charge here, ball whipped in. Asari losing the ball, and once again it's going to be Dreams who will have Suraj Saidu looking to bend one into the far post. And again, it's going to be contended there, but cleared, and still not a danger has not been gone yet. Both teams are beginning to fight, and still what they can do. This time it's going to be Kuma for Dreams FC, ball whipped in by Haj, and have Dreams FC now trying to get the balls going.
Yeah, it's the best possible way they could start.
Hussein once again, and Dreams FC in trouble. Ball sent back, and it's still going to be difficult there for both teams to recycle, and Hartlepool losing the opportunity.
That was a poor play by Accra Hartlepool. That ball was gifted to them on a platter, but then again, their woes and their problems come back hunting them. They've just not been clinical and convincing in front of goal, and that was a chance they should have just buried. It was a big chance, but then good recovery by the Dreams FC defense and the goalkeeper Usman to deal with that. It's becoming even more frustrating for DD.
Well, again, it's a good chance there for the Phobians to have seen how they were going to move in the second half. John Entry tearing away now, looking for space, and Dreams may have the first goal here. But what a timely intervention there from Benjamin Asare. Salifu thought he had scored already, but how did that not hit the back of the net?
Yeah, that's the closest they've come, Dreams FC. But that was a promising move, and John Entry with that solo run over there. And just look at Mohamed Ali in no man's land at all, not attempting to do with that. That was that run into the channel, and just look at that, Razak instinctively making that run onto the ball. And
tell you, it was a very, very good save there from Benjamin Asare.
He did so well to make himself large.
That's why he's number one for the Black Stars. Ball to the near post is being repelled by Hearts of Oak. It's not really out of the woods yet. Good play there from Siraj, looking to bend one into the box, and this time Hearts of Oak will clear their lines. Good chance now for Archiet to get the goalkeeper involved in the action. James FC also beginning to get some bit of openings around the defensive line of Hearts of Oak. Players just not able to deal with the situation. And again, Hussein pulled back, and obviously that's going to be a foul here. Should be careful, he's already on a yellow card. Gede's been booked in the first half, and should watch it. The referee beginning to see what indeed was a deliberate foul there by Chris Gede. A little bit of a slip there from Ahmed Hussein.
Well, he should count himself fortunate to still be in this game. Chris Gede. It was a reckless foul on Hussein, who was tearing away, facing goal, but I think that the referee was a bit lenient at that point.
Well, turn to the left side. Expect Hearts of Oak to have Karim send the ball in. Haj Umar. And the header here been repelled by Hearts of Oak. Quickly they have to get themselves back into the game. Again, you have the likes of Gordon Kujo. Gets the ball into the box. Ahmed Bidin. And Yable also involved in the action. Good play now for Salifu to pick up the pieces. Sari able to distribute the ball well. Got a push on the ball now. Siraj. Seidu. Siraj looking to cut back, and Salifu! Well, the flag has already gone up on offside. Yes. Decision made. And Dreams who feel they should have had the first goal here. Was he offside already?
And I think we have to see that replay again. Just look at that from an onside position, and I think that just wasn't the right call. But just look at that run. It was an amazing run from Seidu Siraj, and we've spoken about what he brings to the table for Dreams FC. Well, that was a perfectly weighted pass, and Razak should have been just unfortunate. Just quite unfortunate for Dreams FC by John Entry.
Well, this time again, it's Benjamin Asare to the rescue of Hearts of Oak.
It looks sloppy.
How many of those chances and how many times would Benjamin Asare come to rescue the Phobians? It's been wave of attacks there from Dreams FC, and Benjamin Asare has always been the rescuer. Well, he's been the man coming to deliver the Phobians from any dangerous scenario. Good play now. Siraj looking to bend one. This time it's wasted.
Wasted chance, but huge credit to Benjamin Asare. And you're wondering what Hearts of Oak are doing now. It looks like they just went to sleep. in the last 2 minutes, and it's been Dreams FC bombarding, you know, Benjamin Asare with all sorts of balls. That was a delivery again, and Christian Owusu alone there, but that was a point-blank save. Goes down on time. Just pummels that one away, Benjamin Asare. I'll tell you what, Graham, he's just the one keeping Hearts of Oak at bay now. Just keeping Dreams FC at bay, and you know, his heroics actually has Hearts of Oak in this game.
Yeah, he's doing so well to ensure that at least he's able to get something out for the team. Good play now for Kobe. Has a little bit of tricks now. Usman to collect this one for Dreams FC.
We spoke about, you know, the implications and repercussions of, you know, wasting so many chances, and now it looks like they have their backs against the wall now, doing most of the defensive plays here at Accra Hearts of Oak. And, you know, they've allowed Dreams FC to grow in confidence now, and it's evident in how they're playing. They've been the better of the two sides in the second half so far, created the best chances. And if not for those two crucial saves from Asare, it would have been hard to go trailing.
Again, trying to find there's a little bit of a run in the box there, and Hearts of Oak are never what to do with that situation. Very quick Boateng trying to play the 1-2 there with Paku. And always trying to find some spaces, pocket of spaces just behind the defensive line of Hearts of Oak, and Dreams FC looking to take advantage of that. And the referee eventually called for an offside here against Hamza Issa.
Really struggled in this game, Hamza Issa. With his touches, we've seen him come close to scoring, but I think the back line of Dreams FC, you know, have done a decent job on him, on off the ball. They've tracked his runs very well, and they've ensured that they will team him a bit. He's very dangerous, you know, sometimes off the ball, his runs and all that, but I think Dreams FC have really done a decent job.
Here comes Asare. Yeah, Phobia is winning back possession. And again, expect to see some of the quality run here for Hearts of Oak to get the balls into the good place. And again, it's going to be whipped into the ball. Amakwabefi's connection was looking for Hamza Issa.
That was a big chance. Beefy surging forward at that point, adding up to the numbers up front. That was a lovely whipping of the ball into the box, but again, sloppy by Hearts of Oak, and are struggling now to find traction at this point, especially whenever they try to advance.
Now Siraj here, cheers one, the flag wears up against him. And again, it's a good call there from the assistant referee.
I think it wasn't actually on Siraj, but then, you know, it was on Razak. Just look at that, tried to interfere with play. And I think that was where the call came in. And Razak knew at that point that he was the one that caused that flag to go up, trying to interfere with play, because he was in an offside position.
Again, it's going to be a lot of the fans of Hearts of Oak trying to wave in some bit of happiness in the game. At least they do have a chance going forward. Hearts of Oak have lost just once. That was against Kotoko, and just look at it again, where Siraj found himself into game, and here comes Salifu. Yes, this is the first chance, and a goal disallowed by the assistant referee. Your take?
I think that was a goal. That should have stood. That should have stood. And, you know, he was just stuck on the left-hand side, you know, of the build-up, Razak, and he made a right run. He waited for that pass to come through from Siraj, and he lashed onto that, went past Benjamin Asare, and I think the flag was up, you know, a bit too early. But Hearts of Oak would have their stars to thank for that one. But overall, I think Dreams FC, they've created some decent chances as well. They've taken the game to Accra Hearts of Oak. They know they are beatable. They know they can breach this defense, and Hearts of Oak themselves, they've had troubles of their own. They are not scoring, they are wasting chances, but if they should continue this way, then they might end up dropping points.
Again, it's a bit of a worry here. Sometimes the worry for teams is how they have had to come in. Hartlepool coming out with some bit of changes here in the game. That's going to be a lot of our talking points here. Very quick Boateng again, coming out with something on the left-hand side. And again, it's going to be a stoppage here, and a substitution would have to be made here. Hartlepool looking to make a change there with seeing Emmanuel Amankwah, perhaps giving the opportunity to play a part in the game here for Hartlepool. So you have George Paku who's being substituted. Abdul Karim is also going out there. Frank Kabora Doku is also coming in for, and Kwesi Asma as well also coming to play a part. A bit of a confusion here.
Yeah. I think he has
George Paku is already out, Abdul Karim out, and Kwesi Asma and Emmanuel Amankwah also coming in.
I think Beatty could be the next person going off for Emmanuel Amankwah at the right-hand side. He picked up a knock, and so it's actually not Beatty.
Amankwah here for Hartlepool, and sliding tackle from behind there from Siraj. The last 8 home games played by Hartlepool this season, Hartlepool have only picked 1 defeat. That's a foul here from Siraj. Very late tackle there from him. Well, the Phobians have had 4 wins against Summertex Nations Fishing 11 Wonders. They've had 3 drawn games against Gold Stars, Hearts of Lions and Hoa United. Well, they beat them they drew with them in the first game. Josiah, the points over Hartlepool, and their goals conceding, 0.4 goal conceded per match. And to our last goal scored per match was 0.7, which again, there's going to be a lot of pushback here. Hartlepool having difficulties, and again, getting the goals here.
Yeah, they would always have. You speak about the fact that they only conceded 0.4 per game, and that's the best in the division. quite impressive for them as far as their back line is concerned. And, you know, that's what you actually get when you have two of the best goalkeepers on the scene, Solomon Agbasi and then also Benjamin Asari, who today has been fantastic in between the sticks for Accra Hearts. But you know, that was some miscommunication there. Slow, you know, in reacting by Osman, and that nearly, you know, caused them. And he had to apologize at that point. He knew it, but you know, good defensive play, bad.
Again, it's another ball into the box, and Hartlepool would have to find a way to get the ball away. So it's going to see a lot of runs on the flanks. And look at the space now. And the Phobians again having difficulties coming out. Hamza Isa.
Good recovery by Adade. They had to sprint, catch up with Duku.
Well, again, it's going to be the man Osman Rahman. Well, it's been a major talking point about his age and his composure in post there for Dreams FC. And a long balls, again, very wasted effort. Dreams looking to see how best they can hold Hartlepool here. Again, look at Amankwa just going to the box, and Osman coming in, just getting the ball away from Hamza Isa.
Really good reading of the game there by the young goalkeeper. It actually gives credence to that saying that if you're young enough, you're good enough, and that's what you're seeing from him. He's barely put a foot wrong, you know, so far in this game, and you know, he could be the reason why Dreams FC walk away from this game with at least a point, if not all 3 points. You know, he's really been good, and I think it also has to do with that communication, you know, with the back line. And just look at that, also composed, trying to start play from the back.
Yeah, and Hartlepool just throwing away chances. But again, there's been a lot of complaints about Dreams FC's performance on the road, where they have the poor away record with Bechim United on all point each. They scored 10 goals in the last 5 matches, averaging 1.3 goals per match. They've also, on the other hand, conceded 12 goals in the last 10 games.
Yeah, it's you know, a contrasting story for them. You know, you pick their home form, talk about their away form as well, and you know, their away form is just horrible. It's just not good enough. But you know, they try to make amends for that with their home form, and they've been decent at home this season. They've got tons of goals, unlike Accra Heartlepool, who always struggle even in their home games. But for Dreams FC, it's been decent. And you talk about the fact that, see, they've garnered 23 points, and just one of the 23 has come on the road. It tells you how they've struggled. You speak about the fact that 88% of the time they do not even pick up points, and it's a big worry for them in any away game.
Mohamed Hussein. Maintenance cross into the box, and now Dreams FC will have to quietly get the ball away. And Hartlepool still charging forward. Phobians have been in total control now, keeping possession. An interesting display there by Suraj Saidu. I'm not too sure what the plan is for Suraj Saidu.
It was clear what he was trying to do. At least he was hoping that last touch would have come off Kweku Boateng, but then Kweku Boateng just knew the intention of Suraj Saidu, and he had to get out of the way of the ball. Just look at that again. He just knew. Just look at what he tries to do over there. Quite strange and rare, though, but it happens in football all the time.
Another ball into the near post, and Hearts of Oak struggling again to connect for the goal. Hamza Aisha once again in the thick of affairs. Again, it's going to be a lot of worrying situation there for Phobians once again. So the last 20 or so minutes to go here at the Legon Stadium. Hearts of Oak nil, Dreams FC nil. Match week 19 of the Premier League. Dreams FC conceded 3 goals against Gold Stars and 2 goals against 11 Wonders and 3 against All Blacks during that run. They've lost their last 2 games played at the Legon Sports Stadium. I'm not too sure the Dreams FC side want to pick up yet another defeat here at this venue. Siraj here committing a foul. And that of Kelvin Ahiamble to Claton Hearts of Oak player, and Ahiamble seemed to have a problem.
Yeah, he doesn't look okay. Seems to be in some sort of pain, Ahiamble. You talk about their run on the road, Dreams FC, and it was a pretty poor run for them, conceding goals. They scored twice at the dance park. Vivier Gold Stars had to come from 2 down to beat them. They lost here as well to Wonders, the team with the worst record in the division. Tells you that, you know, away from home, they're not that good. And if they should walk away with a point here, Graham tells you the story of Hearts of Oak. It tells you how poor they are converting their chances. Yeah, they are not conceding. We've seen Dreams FC themselves, you know, come close a couple of times, but for Hearts of Oak, they need to capitalize on, you know, the poor away form of Dreams FC. They just need to make something count. But Dreams FC have been quite decent in defense.
Entry again, and they'll get themselves out. And you mentioned Salifu after scoring against Hearts of Oak, especially being disallowed. We expect to have a lot of work from him. He's already on a yellow card, so again, came out of the defensive shells and came out guns blazing in the second half early on, and Dreams FC will feel that goal should have stayed. Hearts of Oak now, beautiful play out for the Phobians to hit one into the box, and again it's been repelled by El Haj Umar.
And that's why you need to just keep your concentration level very high. It was Kusi Asma from the right-hand side, and Omar there has put his body in the way of the ball, not allowing it to go past him.
Again, the goalkeeper just trying to make sure that his wall is pretty much solid. He's got the backing of his players. Dreams will have players on the fence warming up, and they get a chance to come in onto the far post, and keeper is already committed, and he's able to take the ball away for a great corner kick again for Hearts of Oak. But again, his agility is well beyond his age.
Well, we spoke about the fact that if you're young or if you're good enough, you're young enough or you're good enough, it doesn't matter your age. Just look at that. That's an effortlessly. It was Abura Duku hoping to pounce on that loose ball.
Best of connection there, Hearts of Oak, and they have the corner kick going away, and Dreams FC charging here. They want to move defense into attack, but Hearts of Oak quickly regrouping to win back possession. Menta, well, whipped into the defensive line of Hearts of Oak. It's been headed down beautifully. Shiraz Seydi picks up for Dreams FC. And Yable. And good pass now to Salifu. And Benjamin Asari once again to the rescue of Hearts of Oak.
Yeah, he's been making some smart runs, Salifu, off the shoulders of the 2 centre-backs, Kujo and then also Mohamed Ali. He's a smart striker. Unfortunately, he had his goal chucked off, but you know, buying that yellow card, he's really been decent for them up front. Sometimes you feel he's been isolated, but each and every time there's a ball to him, he stays alert, makes the right run. This time, Benjamin Asari will just be the quickest to react to that.
On the last 3 most recent home games in the Premier League for Hearts of Oak, they have succeeded in keeping a clean sheet. Dreams FC have suffered 3 straight defeats in their most recent away clashes in the Premier League. And the Dramani really very much animated and trying to get his team to move in the direction that he wants them. They were thinking of coming out with the goals this season. Talking about the fact that they need more goals in this game against Dreams FC.
And at this point, with 50 minutes plus added on time, you'd be thinking about winning the game and not even about scoring. And it was one of the things he addressed, prior to the commencement of this game, speaking about the fact that, yeah, in as much as we have a problem, or goal scoring problem, we still want to win games. And they wouldn't care if it come by 1 goal margins. Because, mind you, the last 3 games they've won here have come by 1 goal margin. So they understand that, yes, sometimes there's the fine margins in football, and it's all about winning. Sometimes it's not about scoring lots of goals for him.
Salifu, he should have lost possession, but he wanted to get back and win it for Hearts of Oak. And there's a long drive here. The best of connection there from Adams Aminu. The last 25 games in the Premier League, Hearts of Oak have been undefeated on 22 occasions. Bit of a problem there for the young goalkeeper. Strike there from Adams Aminu. He's another kind of strike that normally threatens goalkeeper Benjamin Asari.
Yeah, not at all. He had every angle covered. He had every space of the goalpost covered. And even Aminu knows that it would have taken quite a lot. A bit more precision, a bit more power, and a bit of luck to beat Benjamin Asari from that distance. But as this young goalkeeper, Man Osman, he's been the hero for them. Dortmund will be hoping that he'll stay fine for the remainder of the game.
Virtual Links is CEO there, Eric Lagidere in the stands, watching the game. Well, Black Stars goalkeeper's trainer for Tao Dao also in the stands watching the game. And Hearts of Oak preparing to make a change there with Theophilus Collison. To get a chance to come in here.
Tell you what, Graham, it looks evident that Hearts of Oak are missing the rounds of Mauli Wayo. He gives them a different dimension to their game as well, but it's just nowhere to be found today for them.
Well, again, it's going to be Hearts of Oak, Aminu here, and Salifu, all of them coming together. Just losing possession, just right in front of a very dangerous area, Hearts of Oak. Kuma swings one deep into the left-hand side, looking for Salifu. Able to get to him, and again, he's trying to get the balls into his attacking players, not able to connect to him beautifully. 13 minutes to go, Hearts of Oak will now have to make a change. The introduction of Theophilus Collison, and just to withdraw with Bonga Frani. Again, it's Hearts of Oak beginning to have a little bit of a hold of play here.
Looks like Afani might not be coming off anytime soon, but he's on a yellow card, and it's really slowed him down a bit, with his tackles, and he's not that rugged style of defensive midfielder, but he has an eye for a pass, knows how to play make from deep, and it's just a different profile from what Theophilus Collison holds. But that was a foul again, and Emmanuel Amankwa rightly chips Razak.
So Hearts of Oak having difficulties now, working hard to see exactly what will be happening. And that's a chance into the box, right? Gets the ball in, and again Benjamin Asari with a fine save. Stupendous save there from Benjamin Asari. And Hearts of Oak simply would have to thank this man over and over again. Dreams FC have come very close to scoring goals, but Benjamin Asari has stood tall.
What class shot stop in there. Frank Duku here, charging, and
Hearts of Oak just couldn't change the narrative. I tell you what a save. What a save there from Asari. Siraj with a cross here. Look at that.
Brilliant from Asari. Full straight save to his left. He's rightly repelled everything thrown at him this evening. And he's too tall. The difference between Dreams FC and a win this evening has been Benjamin Asari.
All into the far post once again, just saluting everybody.
It was just too strong from Boateng at the right hand side. He's been pretty decent, managed to win possession in some 1v1 situations.
Hearts of Oak making a change. Mohamed Hussein out. David Parfani also being withdrawn. Rafael Aponsa is now being given a chance to come in. With 10 minutes to go, Hearts of Oak making yet another substitution. And it's Rafael Aponsa here. He's coming in to replace Mohamed Hussein, who had a very brilliant chance at putting the Provians ahead, but just flopped in the first half.
Yeah, and it's a set of substitutions that gives freedom and room to the attackers to operate now. And you have Theophilus Collison, who is a DM. You have Rafael Aponsa also, the DM and the playmaker. So those two could sit in front of the back four, allowing the front four try search forward and find that elusive goal.
Siraj. He's come alive in the second half, hasn't he? So giving the ball away. Dreams FC have achieved just one win in the last 10 away Premier League games. They average 0.63 goals in the away Premier League matches. Hearts of Oak really have achieved a run of 3 straight home wins in the Premier League, but having difficulties now going against Dreams FC. Hearts of Oak really have had 1,065 dangerous attacks in the position half, compared to that of 1,143 dangerous attacks by Dreams FC in the position half. Total of 13 clean sheets there for Hearts of Oak as against 5 for Dreams FC. And total 64 corner kicks for Dreams in the Premier League as against 76 of Hearts of Oak. Here comes James charging here. I was expecting the likes of Salif to come into the picture. Mankwa sends the ball back to goalkeeper Benjamin Asari. And again, the confidence level again of Asari is unmatched anywhere.
Yeah, you're thinking the Black Stars goalkeeper straight up should be smiling up there. No seeing his goalkeeper put up such splendid performances, and he's doing everything, staying composed under pressure, pulling out world-class saves in a game like this to keep his side still in the game. It tells us his quality is undeniable, and that's the reason why he's the Black Stars #1.
In terms of the attacking play of Hearts of Oak in the Premier League so far in all matches played, they've had 1,438 total attacks in the Premier League averagely, and Dreams FC 1,818. Tells you how dangerous Dreams FC have been in the second half. They have shown their prowess, and Siraj has been pressing pretty much high in the midfield and winning all the second balls for Dreams FC. Here comes Hearts of Oak and Kuma. And player goes to ground. The referee says what? Now it's going to be a foul right against Hearts of Oaks. Keshi Asma. And goes to get a yellow card for trying to buy the referee's conscience for a penalty here, but that was not successful.
It wasn't. He just knew it. The referee knew it, and no protest at all from Keshi Asma there. Just threw himself to the ground, little or no contact at all, and some good work done. A little bit of a nudge, but I don't think there was enough in it. But rightly so, the referee feels like Should go into his books. Let's look at that. The push at the back of Asma.
Goalkeeper Usman Rahman collecting that beautifully.
It's getting even more frustrating for Accra Hearts of Oak. And Majao just can't believe it, how poor they've been. And you're just asking yourself, how did they keep fluffing all the chances? Because if Hussein had scored that goal, perhaps it would have been a different narrative for them. And this is not the first time we've seen them in such a situation where they fluff chances and games have ended stalemates for them. And always thinking that the head coach needs to do something to this team in the attacking department.
Last 4 minutes or so to go. Both teams are yet to get the opening, except to say that Dreams FC had a goal disallowed for an offside. Hearts of Oak in the first half had a 1v1 situation with goalkeeper Usman Rahman and Mohamed Hussein also missing it. A lot of scrappy play there in midfield. And Hearts of Oak are not able to get the balls into very dangerous areas.
Yeah, it looks awful from them, title contenders, and you don't put up such abysmal performances in front of your home crowd. It doesn't look good. Nothing to write home about.
Shuma, the final touch for a corner kick to Hearts of Oak. Sometimes they leave it very late, Hearts of Oak. They say their bones will not be rotting.
Lovely way to ball. As we see Asma there, applying a bit of pressure on Umar. Forcing Umar to play that one out of, send that one out of play.
Another corner kick to your far post now. Goalkeeper has already committed and it's going to be headed out of play. The last 3 minutes or so in the game, and it's still Hearts of Oak nil, Dreams FC nil.
They've done a decent job, Graham. Talk about Dreams FC. You look at their recent travels, and just 1 point out of 8 away games this season, and they will cherish this point because they know that they don't really fare well whenever they're on the road. But it would be more of points dropped by Hearts of Oak than a point gain for them. Looking at how the title race is panning out, you need to be winning games, especially at home. You need to be winning games, and you can't drop points in such a game where everyone expects you to win. It would really, deal with them a huge blow as far as their title chances is concerned.
And the 18 games played by Hearts of Oak and Dreams FC have always scored in the second half. They've scored 6 goals in the second half and also conceding 4 in the second half of the matches played in the Premier League, especially in the second halves. And for Dreams FC, they've scored 12 goals in second halves and conceding 10. This game is goalless between both teams, though we are almost ending the game here at the Lagos Stadium.
Doesn't really look good for Ahia Blair. He's really formed a solid partnership with the other 2 players. You talk about Cristiano Uzwenez, Omar. Let's look at that, the run. And I think his knee came off there was a collision of knees there between himself and Kwesi Asma. His reaction on the turf tells you the sort of pain in which he is. At Beneza Dade, right wing back for Dreams FC.
We have a very interesting match day, 19 games coming up this weekend. Vision FC playing Mijema SC, and Gold Stars against Kotoko. Watoga Brekum Chelsea in All Blacks as well, and Basaka Holy Stars playing Bechem United. And then you have Young Apostles at home to Hawaii United. Those are very tough games coming up this weekend.
Very tough games, and these are potential, title deciders as well.
Hearts of Oak now on the attack here. Dreams FC looking to find a way to clear their lines, and in that process they concede a corner kick. Good 4 minutes of added time here into the match officials. Arjun Mars header. Hearts of Oak now trying to regroup right in front of the 18-yard box of Dreams. Sent in here. It's going to be a very good play now for Hearts of Oak. Ball headed into the box, and it's not been well defended. Dreams would have win a free kick here. Zaisa has been pretty much busy trying to see if he can get a goal there for the Phobians in the second half. So 90 minutes plus 4 minutes of added time. Dreams FC are yet to make a change. Hearts of Oak have already exhausted all their substitutions. Dreams FC have kept their cards to their chest and haven't made any change at all to their starting lineup. And kept faith in the players. And Hearts of Oak have Chris Yasma winning possession here. And it's going to be a foul. Tell me what, it's one of the concerns there for Dreams FC already on the yellow card. Chris Gedde. I think his signal started out of the match award probably will be given to Benjamin Asari. Rajimar's header here. Hearts of Oak now trying to recycle the ball, swings into the right hand side. The assistant referee looks on to be a foul. Tell you what, there's going to be a very tough one there for both sides in terms of how they have been able to play their part in the game. The fans were just hoping at least the decision will go in their favour, Hearts of Oak. Dreams FC now beginning to move here. The game ends in a draw. Hearts of Oak will have a third game played at home in the last 6 games. Dreams again repelling any attack there from Hearts of Oak. And G also giving the ball away. Goes with a high foot tackle. We are into the last minutes of the 4 minutes of added time. Hearts of Oak 2-2-2 at home to BBN Gold Stars, and again that's the tackle there from John Entry. And they come with the free kick here. Just 30 seconds to go. The first John game, Hearts of Oak really looking at the situation. The opening game in the Premier League, they drew, and once again that's the very poor play there for the Phobians. Siraj and John Entry now looking for space. John Entry spreading a play to the right hand side, ball whipped into the box, and Siraj looking to pounce on it. Well, I tell you what, this is the third drawn game, the last 7 games of Hearts of Oak in the Premier League. The first draw in the last 6 games, 2-2 with Bibiani Gold Stars. They drew goalless with Hearts of Lions. And now at home, they have drawn to Dreams FC. And for Dreams FC, the awards in Premier League away from home continue. Benjamin Asari, man of the match for his effort in saving Hearts of Oak. Well, 4 times he had to come into the rescue. And he gets a part of the bat there from the Dreams FC players. Very great job done. And in the last 7 games, this is the second time Dreams FC have drawn away from home. And at least this man will continue to get applauded from fans and almost everybody in the Premier League. He was out for a very long time on an injury, and his return saw a clean sheet there for him against Oho United. And now another clean sheet for him, and they get the congratulatory message there from his co-partner and his substitute goalkeeper, Suleiman Abashi. And so Hearts of Oak really will be having a point here on the Premier League log. At least they know they played a part in terms of the performance. They have had to sit pretty much on the 5th position. And so they will continue to work hard and will continue to play their part. So the Legon Stadium, you look at the number of possession there for Hearts of Oak. 58 against 42 there. And number of corner kicks coming into the side as well, 9-5. And the 4 yellow cards in the game. I tell you what, this performance Dreams FC would feel as a victory because they played a match away from home. Hearts of Oak now having to feel they can also work hard in the next couple of matches to be played in the Premier League. And so here are the Legon Stadium in match week 19. Hearts of Oak against Dreams FC. It finished Hearts of Oak 0, Dreams FC 0.
So our Friday kickoff game ends in a goalless stalemate, a pulsating game which saw both teams come close to scoring. But for Dreams FC, for the second time this season, they've earned a point away from home. But for Accra Hearts of Oak, its points drop at home, which means that their title ambitions has been dealt a huge blow. But then they'll be hoping to recover from that. I've now been joined by the head coach of Accra Hearts of Oak, Masoud Didi Dramani. Coach, how disappointing is it for you to drop points in such a crucial game where you could have closed in on the league leaders?
I think it happens sometimes that when you fail to make the right decisions at the very key moments of the game, yes, you can be disappointed. But that's how the game goes. Exactly what we all saw. The chances we created at the top level, you don't miss the chances, and you can only be lucky to come back.
The transfer window just shut, and we know that most of the teams contend, your competitors were in the market getting attackers to beef up the squad. Are you disappointed that due to one or two reasons you couldn't go into the market to add some top quality players?
Whether I'm disappointed or not, that is the reality, and so we didn't do any addition. So we have to be contented with what we have.
Now talk to me about the absence of Mauli Wayo. He got you the goal from the bench in your last game at Hohoe. Today he was missing. He wasn't even on the team sheet. What happened?
Yeah, I think that we have a depletion of our, especially offensive players, and so we have to do a makeshift. Injuries, sicknesses, and then accumulation of cards. You know, Esubontin, Wayo. But I don't have to speak about this. I always have to be contented with what is available, and what we presented was what was available, and we only try to manipulate and manage with the available materials.
Now, this was a huge chance to close in on Mediama from 6 points to 3 points. You think the title, race is over for Hearts of Oak?
It's still a marathon, and so you just need to be picking games after games, and then be more decisive and be more clinical in terms of conversion. Because I think that in the chances we created, sometimes you might not find such a chance in your career, because you cannot outrun the whole back line from the halfway line, and then you are 8 meters from the goal, and then we fail to make the right decision. These are very, very, very disappointing moments, I think.
And what do you have to say about Benjamin Asari today? He kept you literally in the game with those excellent saves.
He's part of the team, and then it's his responsibility to be accounted for when it comes to these crucial moments. And so for me, it's a normal phenomena that when he makes a save. I think anytime the back line is not able to deal with some situation, it is for him to deal with that situation, and that was exactly what he did.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. So that's Masoud Didi Dramani, the head coach of Accra Hearts of Oak. He was content with Benjamin Asai, but then still lamenting on the wasteful chances that came their way. They had some 1 or 2 decent chances. Hussein getting a chance, Zamza Issa, but then unfortunately they just couldn't score. And he believes that they still have to work hard to get the goals. Now, I've been joined by Winfred Dormon, the gaffer for Dreams FC. Coach, for the second time this season, you've picked up a point away from home. How crucial is it for your Premier League survival?
Well, it was a good result in many parts. But to be fair, it was a game of 2 halves. Hearts had their moment in the first half. But the second half, it was Dreams FC dominance. But for Benjamin Asari, we would have scored an avalanche of goals. There were clear-cut opportunities. I mean, Razak came close, entry came close. I mean, but Benjamin Asari stood well in between the sticks. So overall, it was a tough game to call, but the result is a decent result, to be fair.
You're yet to win an away game, but then 2 points so far in 8 away games this season. You think the win is coming based on how you played today? You feel you are very close to getting your first away win?
Yeah, from my perspective and from the class perspective, it was a decent away result. Because, yes, the first half of the season, we only managed to pick 1 away draw at Kerala. So starting the second half, we want to make a very strong statement. And that's why Heart of Lions, we put them to bed by scoring 3 goals. This game, we were expecting to win it, to be fair with you. It was a game that we came to play through all the blocks. And I think we managed the game very, very well, especially in possession and out of possession. My disappointment
was not being able to score, because in the last 3-4 games we have played, Dreams FC has scored an average of 2 goals.
But talking about expectations to win the game, there was one goal that was chalked off for offside when Razak, latched on to that pass from Seydou Suraj. You think that goal should have stood?
Yeah, to be fair, from where I stood, I thought he opened up his body very well. He bent it, and no chance for Benjamin Asari. But then again, I have to go and watch the video to see. I mean, let's give benefit to the referees. I mean, the assistant referee was in the right position, but I need to go and watch it again to confirm my suspicion.
Now, finally, talk to me about your 70-year-old goalkeeper. How pleased were you with the saves he pulled and how he commanded the back line?
Man, fantastic. I mean, he made a very critical moment, especially the 1v1 when Chris lost the ball. Hussein went. He was calm, composed, and he managed to grab the ball. I mean, he has been putting this kind of performance, and we at Dreams FC, this is what the club stands for, is to create a platform for these young players. Look at Razak, how the young child, the 9, how he was running the house back line, and many of the young players. In fact, we are one of the youngest team, and we are growing, and we thank Entry also for his leadership. And this team this team have big prospect going forward.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
That's the head coach of Dreams FC, Winfred Dormont. He had some words of praise for his young goalkeeper, Osman, but then also he believes that this was a game that they should have won. Mind you, Dreams FC are winless in their away games this season, but then this is the second time they are picking up a point in an away game. And now I've been joined by the man who actually kept Accra Hearts of Oak in the game and won them the point. And he's our man of the match, Benjamin Asari. He's also the Black Stars #1. Benjamin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, first of all, game the same. What drop a point? Title race, no. As a most sleepy Accra, do you think Hearts of Oak are still more title racing?
Oh, really? First of all, that's the man for any supporters in management because so far we share match although say your man toughness ni say win by the nyame pen or yeah they can say the nyame pen no yeah because nyame mama say other good or bad for asida man although say be anti me lose and I anti me winning so now so yeah once I 1 point make sure say nyame do my next game be preparation for the next game
but o performance though and the police some wonderful saves from Razak, Entry, Suraj. Performance that one our performance.
Oh, so far TSN no can me dey be most of the time me SM for life mo fi say be me shatter all those me support to shapa na ba me say Ghana for niti for fans nyanti asese football e mejuma nti e mejuma dey e wo makome menu na me nti me na me dey ball nti dey me pese me na Ghana for so say boy we are good na me ye nti e mejuma I want say me talent na say me prove on the field nti me be as ni fans ni nyina.
But in the last 5 weeks after Uba from injury we've seen the competition Oni Agbasi. How has it been like Oni Agbasi? Is it healthy competition or you understand that you are the #1 and he's the #2?
No, it's good that I forget that competition. By #1 is a #1 because they are the coaches and I don't know they are deciding because once anything they will say, I have to accept it because I'm a player and when they put me on the field, I must do my job. So I thank them and I thank the supporters and the management to give me this platform to continue.
Interesting. But what's the problem with us now? From a goalkeeper perspective, goalkeeper, what do you think? Say, your biggest problem this season?
Oh, really? We will work definitely goes in there and shut down back because all those say you're born because born there once I will say chances, at the same time, so be chances I say because your ball first half we catch a person. He say, last season, so na your boy na share one last minute. Sana sata me national camp, share one. Say, until me catch say, cycle match because born there your ball now we say chances now.
But finally, with performance, what do you say World Cup?
Really, that is my aim and that is my target because I want to make it in life. So,
thank you very much and congratulations once again. So that's our man of the match, Benjamin Asari, Black Stars #1. He says SM for life and he was quite motivated and uplifted for this one. So Friday kickoff game ended goalless here at the University of Ghana Stadium. And these are some of the chances that was flagged by Accra Hearts of Oak. Decent chances for them. But then unfortunately, they just couldn't hit the back of the net. And that was another big save by the man of the match. That's Benjamin Asari after John Entry had threaded that ball to Razak. But then unfortunately, he just couldn't make that one count. And it was a very, very pulsating game. We witnessed here at the University of Ghana Stadium. A big chance, another goal that was chalked off that time That one was actually scored by Razak, and the linesman actually had the flag go up in time to deny him. I'm here now with Coach. Coach, let me quickly take your thoughts on that particular incident over there. A goal disallowed.
I believe if we should have a replay again, we should be able to, because there was a player who was first in an offside position before the second ball. In this situation, it will be difficult to notice whether it's an offside or not an offside. I need to watch the replay again. But I believe that the second half was very good for Dreams FC. They dominated major part of the game. That is the reason why Benjamin Asare was able to save Hearts of Oak from conceding.
But with chances created, we saw Hearts of Oak dominate the first half. They were wasteful, which we talk about, during the halftime discussions. But in the second half, would you say it was all Dreams FC and they should have won that game?
You remember I told you in the first half, they were building up slowly. So they need to get their momentum. And they had it in the second half. In the first half, their goalkeeper, Osman Rahman, I mean, he was fantastic. It was between him and Hearts of Oak. And of course, in the second half, it was Benjamin Asare and Dreams FC. So the two goalkeepers did very well. But tactically, I think that Dortmund changed or varied his game tactics. And for me, he dominated the second half.
That was the incident again. I would want to take your view on that one. And just look at the run of Razak over there. The pass perfectly weighted by Suraj. Cuts inside again, cuts outside with that pass. Just look at that, outside. And the finish, opening himself up. And the flag had gone up. You're thinking...
We are not getting the angle right. If you could clearly see.
I'm sure we'll be giving that angle in a bit.
If you're able to get the angle right. Because before Suraj passed, there was a player who was not interfering with play. But the player who went in to score was the one assistant referee raised the flag as an offside. But we need to see that angle very well. It's very difficult. It's very tight. To be honest with you, it's very tight. But we give the assistant referee the benefit of the doubt because without a clear view, it will be difficult to analyze that.
But Hearts of Oak had a chance to close in on Mediama from 6 points to 3, at least until Mediama plays tomorrow against Vision FC. You think they flagged a golden opportunity to stay close, to the peloton?
Of course. I mean, looking at the chances they had in the first 45 minutes, Hussein's opportunity, about 40 yards, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And I think that we give credit to Osman. He did very well because he went sideways before he decided to face Hussein. Hussein has already just committed himself already. A very excellent goalkeeping. Look at Hamza. He had two opportunities. He blew them away. If Hearts of Oak had been able to score in the first half, it would have been difficult for Dreams FC to come back into the game. But because they couldn't score, the momentum and the confidence of Dreams FC came to bear.
Coach, the biggest highlight of the game, obviously, will be that offside goal or alleged offside goal. But let's take a look at it again and look at it in that slow-mo, Coach. This is a huge decision. Just look at that. The cutback from Suraj and the pass.
It wasn't an offside. It was a perfect goal. It was a perfect goal. Before the kick, he was not an offside. It was a perfect goal. A perfect goal disallowed by the referee. Based on what I've
excellent, perfect angle for you.
Of course, we give credit to, Suraj Sedu. I mean, he had the composure, he had the timing, and look at how he placed the ball in between the Hearts of Oak players and the space. That's why I always talk about pocket of spaces. Player moving into space without the ball, the most dangerous player. And it was an excellent curling into the net. And for me, I think that the referee disallowed a perfect goal.
But what should Didi Dramani be doing now? Now, he can't go to the market. He looked a bit disturbed, and upset about the whole situation. But maybe perhaps he might not be saying it to the public. But what should he be doing now?
He has to keep on improving the training regime with the players. He needs to encourage them. Because as he said, he couldn't register any player. It's going to be Hamza Issa, Frank Duku, George Paco, Mauli Wayo. These are the guys he's going to rely on. But he's also, you see, Hearts of Oak don't normally shoot from far. If you have realized from that, they normally do the ring play and try to do the second balls. They don't shoot from far. I think that they should also have to improvise in terms of getting the balls at the back of the net. They need to continue doing what they are doing best. And I'm sure gradually they'll be getting the balls there because they couldn't register any player in the second half. Thank
you very much, Coach Ebenezer Sifa. I've enjoyed your company throughout this presentation. That's where we have to call it a wrap on this particular game. Friday kickoff game involving Accra Hearts of Oak and then also Dreams FC. After 90 minutes, the scores were shared. A pulsating game. Accra Hearts of Oak picking up a point. Dreams FC also picking up a point. My name is Josiah Kukwe, and on behalf of everyone here, we say thanks so much for watching. The coverage continues tomorrow, and tomorrow at the Dance Park, it will be the defending champions, BBA Gold Stars, taking on Kumasi Asante Kotoko. You make time for that one. Thanks so much. Bye for now.